What do operating system boot error codes mean? Imagine turning on your computer and instead of seeing your familiar desktop, you're greeted with a strange message or a blinking error code. That moment can be confusing, but those messages are actually clues. They tell us what went wrong during the startup process. When a computer powers on, it goes through a series of steps called the boot process. This process involves checking hardware, loading essential files, and starting the operating system. If something goes wrong during any of these steps, the system generates a boot error code. These codes are like signals that point to the specific problem stopping your computer from starting normally. The boot process begins with the power on self-test, which checks if hardware components like memory and hard drives are working properly. Next, the bootloader runs, which finds and loads the main operating system files. Then the operating system kernel loads into memory and starts system services. If an issue occurs during the bootloader phase, such as the system not finding the right files, an error code appears. These errors can mean many things. For example, if the system can't find the boot configuration data, it might show a message indicating a missing or corrupted boot data. If the boot files are damaged or missing, the error could point to that. Another common problem is corruption of the master boot record, which is a small section on the hard drive that contains information about partitions and the bootloader. If this gets damaged, the system might display an error code indicating the master boot record is broken. Sometimes, the operating system itself is missing or cannot be located, leading to errors that say the OS is not found. Hardware failures are also a frequent cause. Faulty hard drives, bad memory modules, or motherboard issues can trigger boot errors. Corrupted system files caused by malware, improper shutdowns, or failed updates can also prevent the OS from loading properly. Different operating systems show these errors in various ways. Windows might display an error code like, or a message about missing system files. Mac computers may show a folder with a question mark, meaning they cannot find the operating system. Linux systems might display a message from the bootloader like GRUB indicating a problem with loading the kernel. Knowing what these error codes mean helps you troubleshoot effectively. Common solutions include running startup repair tools that automatically fix issues, using recovery media to repair or rebuild boot data, checking hardware connections, or replacing faulty components. Sometimes, restoring or reinstalling the operating system is necessary if files are severely damaged. Different operating systems manage their startup and error reporting differently. Windows uses a boot configuration data store and a boot manager called Boot Manager. Linux relies on bootloaders like GRUB, which can be configured to troubleshoot boot problems. Mac systems use FI and NVRAM settings to manage startup. Each system's way of showing errors and fixing them reflects how it manages the boot process. In everyday terms, recognizing what a boot error code indicates can save you time and frustration. It helps you decide whether the problem is hardware-related, software corruption, or a configuration issue. This knowledge allows you to take the right steps to get your computer back up and running quickly. Whether you're a casual user or managing multiple systems, understanding these codes is a key part of keeping your devices reliable and ready to go.